Namaste. Jnana Yoga is one of the traditionally accepted paths of spiritual awakening, alongside Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Jnana, Bhakti, and Karma. These three yogas form the essence of the spiritual path within Sanatana Dharma. Jnana Yoga is the path of subtle discernment, the path of realizing non-duality, the path of Advaita. However, this path is not for everyone. It is meant for the Adhikaris, those who are inwardly prepared. Jnana Yoga is the ability to recognize the most subtle, luminous, empty, non-dual stream of consciousness within oneself. Ignorance means not recognizing this stream. Jnana Yoga is the training in identifying it. In the tradition of Sanatana Dharma, this stream of consciousness is called Atman or Brahman, which are the same. We either recognize it and then we are awakened Jnanis, or we do not, and remain unenlightened. To train oneself in recognizing the non-dual current of consciousness, this is Jnana Yoga. There are three foundational principles on this path, followed by all Jnana yogis, whether in Hinduism, Buddhism, or the Bon tradition. The first principle, Shravana, hearing about the Absolute. The second principle, Manana, resolving doubts and contemplating what has been heard. The third principle, Nididhyasana, having recognized Brahman within, abiding in uninterrupted meditation upon Brahman. If you understand these three core principles, you know the entirety of Jnana Yoga. Shravana, listening to teachings on Brahman from a realized teacher. Manana, contemplating and clearing doubts to reveal Brahman within. Nididhyasana, constant meditative absorption in Brahman. The path of Jnana Yoga is often likened to Garuda destroying the serpent of ignorance, an image from chapter 2 of the Ribu Gita, part of the Shiva Rahasya Purana. Garuda is the eagle that soars high and surveys everything from above. Such is Jnana Yoga. It lets the yogi lift to great heights and annihilates ignorance within the stream of consciousness. Yet, one should not think that Jnana Yoga is accessible to all just because the scriptures are now freely available. The paradox is this: Jnana Yoga conceals itself from the unready. It contains within itself a mechanism of self-concealment. Those who are not inwardly prepared will not be able to grasp it. Jnana Yoga sets a high bar. Sri Shankaracharya lays out its standards in texts such as Vivekachudamani. Adhikara, inner readiness, is required. It includes qualities such as Viveka, discrimination between the real and unreal; Vairagya, dispassion and detachment from the world; Mumukshutva, a burning longing for liberation; and the sixfold qualities of Sattva, Shatsampad. If these qualities are present, one is Adhikari, ready to walk the path of Jnana Yoga. How does the Jnani see the world? He perceives it through the eyes of non-duality. Duality, if it appears at all, is merely peripheral to consciousness. Everything is an illusion: the present moment, the past, the future, the universe, living beings, forms, names, feelings, emotions, philosophies, even samsara and nirvana. None of it exists in the absolute sense. But this non-existence is not a negation. It is profoundly positive. In place of illusion, there is something else. Not nothing, but Brahman. Everything we perceive exists, but in an entirely different, absolute way. What is illusory is only what we assume to be self-existent. It is all one divine consciousness. When we say this is an illusion, we are also saying this is Brahman. The past, the future, the present, all are Brahman. Earth, water, fire, air, space, all are Brahman. All beings, emotions, concepts, everything is Brahman. In some inconceivable way, all of it exists as absolute truth. Our ignorance makes us see it as fragmented and relative. This is Maya, but the Jnani, through discernment, sees through it. He knows that all is one divine consciousness. The teaching of Advaita Vedanta speaks of 5 layers of being in every object: Nama, name; Rupa, form, Asti, being, Bhati, light of consciousness, Priya, bliss. But we perceive only name and form, ignoring being, light, and bliss, that which comes from the Absolute. This ignorance leads to suffering, rebirth, disease, and karma. Jnana Yoga removes this ignorance and says, open your perception to the dimension of Brahman, Sat Chitananda, see beyond names and forms, the absolute being of consciousness, pay no heed to illusion. And how does the Jnani perceive the suffering of others, life and circumstances? He feels the greatness of God, love and compassion, detachment, inexpressible mystery. This cannot be easily put into words. Advaita Vedanta is not a philosophy but an experience. It was made into philosophy by later followers. It is closer to Zen. It does not explain, it allows direct experience. The Jnani looks upon the world with detachment. He is not bound to it, just as the world is not bound to him. And yet, this world is consciousness. It is unreal as an object, but real as a manifestation of the one consciousness. Therefore, the Jnani both sees and does not see the world. He acts and speaks from the perspective of relative truth, for the benefit of beings. But in the absolute sense, he perceives only one being. He does not see self and others. He is that being. This is difficult to explain. Everything that happens is an illusion, but consciousness is playing. And this play, for example, is this very video.